Switching gears now to Bangladesh. It's heading for an election on the 12th of February. 300 of the 350 seats in the country's legislature will be going to the polls. The remaining 50 will be filled after the election on the basis of proportional representation. So there are 300 seats up for grabs on the 12th of February. 51 political parties will be contesting, and this includes heavyweights like the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami. Altogether, the 51 parties have put up 2,568 candidates, to be precise. However, only 109 of them are women. So, on the 12th of February, women will make up a mere 4.24% of the candidates. Even of the 109, by the way, only 72 of them have been fielded by political parties. 37 are independents. In total, 30 of Bangladesh's 51 political parties have fielded no women candidates for these elections. Those numbers on your screen as well. Let's just look at some of the most prominent parties now and the number of women candidates that they have fielded. The BNP contesting 285 seats out of the 300 seats in the legislature, but it has 328 candidates in total. It is fielding multiple candidates in some constituencies, in fact, but despite this, the BNP put forward just 10 women candidates. This was including the late former Prime Minister Khalida Zia. With her passing, the BNP will be needing to revise the nominations, so the number could drop further. The Jamaat-e-Islami, meanwhile, contesting 276 seats, and not a single one of its candidates is a woman. It's almost the same situation with the Islami Andolan Bangladesh. The party is contesting 268 out of 300 seats, and it does not have a single woman candidate. This is also the situation with several other Islamist parties in Bangladesh. But the situation is not much better elsewhere. The National Citizen Party, which was born out of the student movement that ousted Sheikh Hasina last year, is contesting 44 seats. It has fielded just 3 women candidates. And there's a reason for the poor representation of women at the elections. I mentioned earlier, only 300 of the 350 seats in Bangladesh's parliament were going to the elections. The other 50 seats are granted later on the basis of proportional representation. These 50 seats are reserved for women. They are reserved for women. Parties nominate women of their choice to the seats they are allotted, which means women are guaranteed at least 14.29% of Bangladesh's parliamentary seats, basically. But almost none of the women are elected directly. They are chosen by their parties in a rather opaque manner, keeping the women representation in politics largely symbolic. Nestle has expanded a major recall of its infant formula products across multiple European countries, reportedly, after identifying a potential contamination risk. The company withdrew certain batches of its key infant and formulas. In fact, this was after reportedly a quality issue emerged with an ingredient supplied to its manufacturing process. Health authorities involved in the incident have identified the possible presence of a toxin. Unlike some food pathogens, this toxin reportedly is not neutralized through typical formula preparation, which has prompted regulators to advise that the potentially affected products should not be consumed. Some food safety agencies have assessed the health risk as not acute, though they note symptoms could include nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramps in rare cases. Nestle reportedly undertook extensive testing of the raw materials and finished products once the concern was detected and widened the recall as a precautionary measure. The company emphasized that to date, it is not aware of any confirmed illnesses linked to the affected formulas. The recall initially began on a limited basis in December, but has since grown in scale. The recall covering products sold in Austria, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Norway, Switzerland, and the UK, reportedly, the list of countries there. According to Austria's health ministry, meanwhile, more than 800 individual items produced at over 10 Nestle facilities may be involved, making this the largest product recall in the company's history, though Nestle has not independently verified the exact count, reportedly. Infant nutrition represents a significant business segment for Nestle, with the company holding a substantial share of the global formula market. The products are part of its broader nutrition and health science portfolio, which contributes meaningfully to overall sales. Nestle has published detailed batch numbers for consumers and retailers, stressed efforts to minimize disruption to supply, and stated that it is working to isolate the source of the issue at a Netherlands facility, reportedly. In a move aimed at stemming the violence in the West Bank, the Israeli Defense Forces have authorized the use of electronic monitoring bracelets to enforce restraining orders. Under the new order, basically, authorities can require individuals under administrative restraints to wear electronic monitoring devices and track any violations of their restrictions. Officials are warning that breaching the restraining order or damaging the equipment would constitute a criminal offense with the possibility of prosecution. Now, this decision was signed by the IDF Central Command head and announced jointly with the Shin Bet. It represents a significant shift in how the authorities are seeking to curb the attacks by extremist settler groups, reportedly. According to rights groups, last year, the government decided to stop using administrative detention against Jewish suspects. And this came even as thousands of Palestinian suspects remain held under the same system, reportedly. And while the IDF statement did not actually specify exactly who would be monitored, the move appears to be targeted at extremist settler activists, reportedly, who are commonly known as hilltop youths. Now, this decision also comes following a spike in attacks against Palestinians and IDF troops in recent months. We've been telling you about that. Reports indicating that the Shin Bet chief, meanwhile, recommended the use of electronic bracelets as a more effective alternative to the existing restraining orders. The current order prohibiting suspects from entering certain areas of the West Bank, and the policy was developed through coordination between the IDF, the Shin Bet, Israel Police, the Justice Ministry, and legal advisors, and followed directives from Israel's political leadership. The decision also coming after a year of increased violence by settler extremists, reportedly. The IDF recorded at least 752 incidents of nationalistic crime and violence against Palestinians in 2025, as they call it. It's a massive spike, and up from 675 incidents in 2024. Many of these attacks occur on a near-daily basis, with prosecutions of Jewish extremists rare and convictions even more so. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.